I don't like Gus Malzahn for doing this because they were the ones behind it. I grew up loving the Georgia Auburn game played at the end of the
Yep.
year. It used to be Georgia, Florida, Alabama, and that or some type of word like that. Now we playing them early in the year. Auburn on the road, Georgia. They got Georgia spanking Auburn 41-17. What do you think?
Yeah, I'm just interested to see whether Auburn fans have run Harsin out of town at that point, even that early in the season, given some of the dysfunction of this offseason. But yeah, I mean, no Bo Nix there anymore. We'll actually be playing Bo Nix first game in Oregon now. So
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
a lot of changeover.
Yeah.
What do you think? You think the score's about right? 41-17, Georgia?
I think so. I think the key is for those that partake, getting in the over on the first half of these Georgia games, I think is going to be where Vegas is going to end up losing some money. Again, I think second half we'll see how up tempo the offense is there, but I think we're going to keep.
And
rolling.
Kirby's not interested in blowing anybody. I mean, he doesn't embarrass anybody. He really doesn't. Yeah, he could have last year, and I don't think that's not him. What do you think, Chad? You think that Auburn gets spanked 41-17?
Poor Auburn. I mean, they just got so much going on in the off season, and the boosters undermining Harsin. None of that's good. And you know what? Unfortunately, the Auburn fans are going to pay for it this season, and they really had nothing to do with it.
All right, home, Vandy. The score is predicted to be 49-7. Yeah, they blow them out.
I'm not sure where they're going to get 7, but we'll see how that goes.
Yeah, good luck. Yeah, I'm with you. Blowout. I think we all agree with that. And then the big one, and this I do think is going to be a good game. I really do. I think Florida's going to be up. I think Florida's going to be ready to play. I don't think it's going to matter, but Florida and Jacksonville's neutral site game. I guess this year Georgia is the home team, but it's split 50-50. 27-24, Georgia's predicted to win. Talk about this game.
I'm just interested to see Florida's offense going into the season. I think that, I understand the move on from Mullen, not necessarily taking recruiting the same priority as Kirby Smart does. But I think you're going to get a very slow-moving offense from Florida, and I'm interested to see how that plays out this year. I think one of the big storylines going into next season might be changing offensive coordinators with the way that they've structured that program there. I think Napier is going to improve on the recruitment front, but I think it's going to be a big hurdle that year one adapting to. I think it's going to be a slower, more run-focused offense.
Chad, close game, or you think Georgia gets it done?
I think Georgia gets it done.
Okay. All right. We will see. I think Billy Napier's a heck of a football coach.
Yeah,
he worked with
Nick.
He worked for Nick. Kirby was on the staff. They all know one another. They're all recruiting against the same kids. I'm with you. They got that $100 million brand new football facility. Recruiting's going to pick up. It already has at Florida. It's picking up. As a matter of fact, there's a 5-star corner out of Lakeland, Florida. Everybody in the country is after. And I think Bill Castle is still coaching. He was head coach there in 1975. And I think he's still there. It's unbelievable. Winningest coach in Florida history. If he's still there, and this 5-star probably wind up with Florida, because in the past they all from Lakeland would go to Florida. But anyway, I kind of think it's going to be a closer game than what people think. I do think Georgia wins, but I think it's not going to be a blowout. I don't see that. All right, now this game, watch out. I'm telling you, they scare me as a Bama fan for us, but they're home. No, they're on the road. Georgia's home. Tennessee. Now you got Florida. Now you got Tennessee back to back. They've got this game being very competitive. They got Georgia pulling it out at the end, 34-31. What do you think? Give us a breakdown on this one.
Yeah, my brother and I were up in Knoxville last year, and that offense is a lot of fun to watch. It almost has kind of an option element to it, where you have to scheme completely differently for that game going into that week. That's the one game on the schedule that I'm worried about. I'm glad that it is at home. But I think that's going to be a fun one. I think they can definitely put up points. They can put up points very fast. So that's going to be the game that I have circled on my calendar.
I agree with that. I think the Tennessee game is the game to watch out for. Georgia obviously has the home field advantage. I mean, looking at the schedule, I think they go undefeated, but Tennessee is going to be the big test for Georgia.
And it's incredible how quickly they've been able to turn that around. I mean, Danny White, an incredible athletic director at UCF. Josh Heupel, who I was not overly impressed with in his term in Orlando, but year one, he's already shown that Danny White knew what he was doing.
Yeah.
Did you see what he does offensively? They spread the field like no one else. I mean, they got the receivers like 2 yards from the – I don't care how wide it go. 2 yards from the Alabama markers is crazy. They really spread the field out. They've got good skilled players. He's got guys that transferred in there. They're recruiting unbelievable. They have bought in. I think it seems like they're all together. They're going to be really good in the future. They spent $8 million on a quarterback out of California, so they're doing what they got to do to try to catch up with Bama and Georgia in recruiting. So I'm with you guys. I do think it's gonna be a really good football game.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be one to watch.
I think one of the main reasons for me is that you just got through playing Florida. Now let's go play Tennessee.
What injuries play in?
Yeah,
those are all factors. But yeah, I still think Georgia gets it done.
And Tennessee's got the quarterback back. I mean, that kid's not bad at all.
Yeah,
that's gonna be a good football game. I still like Georgia to win that one. All right, the next game, Mississippi State at Mississippi State. Now, Starkville's get they get off the bus. They look as good as anybody, especially on the defense side of the ball. Offense, they're going to throw the ball about every single play. The quarterback's arm will get tired. Georgia's DBs are always good. Kirby's defense are always going to be good. I like Georgia in this football game, but they've got it close. They've got it 27-20. Now you got Florida, Tennessee, Mississippi State, 3 physical football games in a row. What do you think?
Yeah, I've got looking at getting tickets for the Stark Vegas game right
there.
Are
you really?
Yeah.
Good.
I mean, Mike Leach, one of my favorite coaches in college football. Don't know if he's ever going to win the big one, but he's someone who's going to be dangerous every single time.
Yeah.
And it seems he always gets one of these games where he takes someone down, and so again,
you're going to enjoy that. If you go to that stadium, that's a nice little stadium now, and that town. You'll have a good time. You'll have a good time. But you think? I know Georgia's going to get it done.
Yeah, I'll be taking Georgia all year, but this is one I'm particularly looking forward to. And again, but right after Tennessee, I mean that's going to be where our conditioning is going to need to be on point. But luckily, our depth at the DB position, I'm feeling pretty good.
Yeah,
we're going to need it.
Chad, they got the score to beat in 27-20. Georgia beating Mississippi State on the road. Close game. Do you think it's going to be more than that? Do you think the experts got it right?
This early in the season, I don't think it's going to be that close. But I will say this about Mississippi State: they do have a lot of experience from players that are returning, and they're going to be better than they were last year for sure. And so that experience with the coach, who knows? But I guess we'll see how good they are. Starting in the beginning of the season, and then we'll see. Is this a key matchup at the end of the season, like I think Tennessee and Georgia is going to be, or is Mississippi State going to be, 500 in winning, and not as good as I think.
Yeah.
But they do have a lot of experience returning. They got a lot of good players, and so are they able to get it done? They won't have the depth of Georgia though.
I don't think they're going to be able to. I think it's going to be a good game. But I think Georgia pulls it away. I don't think it's going to be as close as 27-20. I could be wrong. Now, you got Georgia playing Florida, Tennessee, Mississippi State, 3 physical football defensive teams anyway. Then the 4th one, Kentucky. Kentucky's got a lot of guys coming back. I think the running backs come. I can't remember now. But they're going to be pretty good. They got a great coach. They believe in the coach. They believe they can win. They thought they were going to have a close game last year in Athens and Georgia. Put it on pretty good. I kind of think Georgia's going to spank Kentucky. Everybody thinks it's going to be the game of the year, maybe. I don't. I think Georgia on the road gets it done. They got the score predicted 31-10. I do think Georgia pulls away in the second half and wins this game.
Yeah, I got a lot of respect for what Stoops is being able to build there. But the problem is that that's a team that's built to run into the strength of Georgia. Right. It's a team that plays the game the way that Kirby plays it, and I just don't think they're going to be able to compete on without some.
Yeah, I don't think they're getting movement on the defense. I don't see it happening. And again, this is for the SEC. They know if they win this, and they're going to go undefeated because they got Georgia Tech next. I think they're going to be focused, ready to play. I think Georgia gets it done. Chad, is it going to be? Now you might think it's going to be close. Kentucky's.
I don't. I think it's going to be much like last year. That's my prediction.
The last game is home. The rivalry, Georgia Tech. It's not much of a rivalry anymore. They got Georgia blowing out the Yellow Jackets 45-3, and I think that's. I don't know. It'll be 45-3, but I think they have a pretty easy game.
Well, as someone grew up with enough heartache. I'll never forgive the Jasper Saints fumble. I enjoy every single point we score on Georgia Tech. I don't care what their record is throughout the season. So I'm going to enjoy every minute of that one.
And they lost their great running back Gibbs going to Bama. Thank goodness, man. Anyway, the Georgia Bulldogs 12-0. I do believe they're going to go 12-0. And I think what we need to happen, we need Alabama and Georgia both to be undefeated. That way we get both of them in the playoffs. Now, if one of them loses in the regular season, the other one needs to lose to that team in the playoffs. So we want two teams. We want that big-time money coming back to the SEC. I do think Bama and Alabama, if Alabama's healthy, I do believe that Bama and Georgia both get in. Now, we could be wrong, but that's just what I think. I got them going 12-0. We all have them going 12-0. Great job by Kirby Smart. All right, let's talk about some of our great sponsors real quick. We get back to more about the SEC. Paparazzi Gourmet Deli. I saw John yesterday. Went and got a landlower pizza. Oh, my God, it was good. Really good.
I've had that.
It's
just
good.
recently.
That's some good stuff.
The pepperonis on that thing were that
That's what she said.
big.
Yeah. That's
Man,
good.
3-inch
Really
size pepperonis. Where'd they get them things?
Hey, John is a retired police officer. He does everything well, man. Their family had in New York. They've had a deli for over 100 years in their family. The food's incredible, man. Go try it. You'll love it.
Pizza's good.
Great, man. Don't forget about Max Fit Sports Nutrition. Do you want to look better? Do you want to feel better? We all can't be like Chad Mitchell, but we can all try. Get down to Max Fit Sports Nutrition. That will help. Now, skin cancer can be deadly. Do not put off getting you. If it doesn't look right, feel right, call Dr. Ward, make an appointment. If you listen right now in Northwest Florida, there's an office near you. Go get checked out. The guy's incredible. Newbies, John and Charlotte do such a wonderful job. 3 great locations. A mothership, the best bands in the Southeast every Friday, Saturday night. Go try them out. Some coach sent you. Charlotte, John, we love you. Be right back. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
June 26th, 2017, a radio station was born. For 5 years, 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida has been the undisputed and still undefeated leader for sports on the Panhandle. Thanks for 5 years of broadcasting history from 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Good Monday morning. My forecast is calling for spotty showers and thunderstorms once again today, tonight, and Tuesday. Partly sunny during the day, partly to mostly clear at night. The high today and Tuesday, mid to upper 80s, southwest wind 10 to 15, the water temperature in the Gulf 86 degrees. This weather forecast has been brought to you by Mid-South Lumber, the best little lumber yard in Panama City. For 104.3 and 102.1 ESPN Northwest Florida, I'm meteorologist Tim Root.
Don't miss the 2022 ISO League Summer Slam. Watch as teams from all over the South compete for $10,000. In this 5 versus 5, double elimination, winner takes all basketball tournament. Want your team to compete? Register now for the 2022 ISO League Summer Slam before all the spots are taken. Whether you're competing or spectating, get in on the action. August 5th through the 7th at Rutherford High School, 1000 School Avenue. Visit ISO League by Rise on Facebook for more information.
It's the cooling season, and time to call Steverson Air Conditioning for your preventative maintenance to keep your air conditioning system operating at full capacity. Steverson Air Conditioning has preventative maintenance programs, and they service all makes and models. Steverson Air Conditioning offers air duct cleaning. Steverson Air Conditioning has after-hours service and free estimates on a system change-out or duct cleaning. Call them at 248-1109.
Now, it's the Coach James Hale Show.
Go nuts.
Live from the J. Michael Studio at 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
And welcome back to 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. What movie was that song in? What movie?
What movie wasn't that song?
Urban Cowboy.
Oh, okay.
You don't remember that?
No, I don't.
Urban Cowboy. Do you remember the movie Urban Cowboy?
I remember the song.
Do you remember the movie?
I don't remember the movie.
John
Barely remember
Travolta
the movie.
is out in Texas. They're dancing and they have fights and stuff.
That's where the mechanical bull
Yeah,
came into
yeah,
its
Yeah.
fame.
Now, John Travolta, I forgot his name in the movie, but his wife's name was Sissy. And he got in a hissy when Sissy got on the mechanical bull.
Oh yeah, then he got
all
fired up.
mad. Yeah, and they got separated. He went off with another girl. She got mad, threw a beer at him. She went off with used to be a guy who was a convict, and I'll tell you this later. I think they want to hear about sports.
Man,
I know they don't
It was
want to hear
pretty
about
good. It
this.
was a pretty
a lot
good
of
movie.
drama. A lot of
A
drama.
lot of good music.
Like,
You see,
what?
you're too young. You don't remember this stuff.
1970s? 72?
No,
I remember
78.
the movie, but I never went to see it.
Yeah, it was pretty.
Yeah.
I like the your music was great. Really, you weren't even thought of. You were your mom and dad. This is back. Your mom might remember the movie.
I didn't see the movie, but I did see the memes that were during the Urban Meyer scandal last year. There's a lot of Urban Cowboy memes made out of that. So I do know that very well.
Speaking of scandals, what is going on now, Chad, at Penn State?
Man, I tell you what, they can't avoid this. Last fall, apparently it's come out in the news that last fall at Penn State, bottom line, it sounds like there's this woman going around, flirting with some of the
Young
football
men.
players, young men, getting them to send her, nude photos of themselves, that kind of thing. And then she uses that and basically says that she was going to exploit them if they didn't get her more pictures of them committing sexual acts in the locker room. And different places on campus. And it wasn't just one student. It was more than one. One realized he made a stupid mistake by sending her pictures of himself to begin with. And I think she put them on Instagram, this kind of thing. And she was trying to get him to do some other things. And apparently there are videos and pictures out about this.
Did they ever actually do anything sexually in the locker room?
And here's the problem. Because all the guys that were being exploited didn't want to press charges, didn't want to have anything to do with it.
No. But what I'm saying, did they actually have them having sex inside the locker room?
Yes, apparently so. Now,
Wow.
I have not seen the videos. I have not seen the pictures. So this is a federal investigation that's going on right now into that. But this happened last September. And, the student, you can see, he clearly made a mistake, then tries to rectify that mistake, and he's like the only one. And that's why I think she picked on him. I mean, she was using it as blackmail, and, this is extortion, what they call sexual extortion.
Right.
But the feds are now looking into it, and they should. They should look into this. I mean, we don't need our college students being exploited for doing stupid things, right? Yeah, he did something stupid to start, but, then got his head on straight and figured out, hey, I'm being exploited here, and went to the police with it. Good.
They're in college to learn. That's a learning experience.
That's learning the hard way.
The hard way.
Hey, did y'all ever do that in Georgia? Did the Bulldogs ever done that
They're
stuff?
all good Christian boys. They would never do something like that.
That's right.
Well, when I was when I was
Oh,
growing
you
up,
did this in
no,
college.
No, I didn't go to Georgia, but when I was growing up, Georgia was known as the party school, and I was in
I think they
Columbus.
still are known as the
Yeah,
most,
yeah, I think so. I think they're still the party school.
Well, do you know what's so bad about this? Now, really, I don't know. And when we were coming up, you could not have females in the dorm. You couldn't have females, definitely not in a locker room. You had trainers. So we would have these female trainers in the training room, and that opened the door and going into our locker rooms where everybody's taking a shower.
Yeah.
Everybody would walk around naked
And
and
they
everything.
see some women rubbing.
Yeah. Well, no, the other room, but so you had to be kind of careful. They want to make sure you couldn't see in there. Now, if they did bring a girl into their facility and they had sex with a girl and they filmed it in there, they're going to have a problem.
Yeah.
The university's going to have a problem with that.
Sure. And, part of that story was the student went to the university first. And, so, and
He reported it?
he reported it to the university first.
Smart move.
And I don't
think.
know if the university reported it to police or he reported it to police, but it was said in there that the university was trying to keep it hush-hush because they didn't want, this embarrassment on their hands, where I really think universities need to rethink that. I think universities need to, hey, if this is going on, let it out in the open. Let's take care of this. We have a no tolerance policy of this, and this is what's happening. We're going to do something about
If
it.
all schools,
That's
if any university in the country knows they need to get it out there and report it, would be Penn State. Because we saw what happened last time they tried to
don't cover it
something
up. Let it be what it is. I mean, in this case, this is a case of someone trying to exploit students. Is the way I look at it. And yes, the students are not innocent in all of this, but they're still being exploited.
Well, look what, and it just doesn't happen to students. It also happened students and players. Look what happened to Coach Rick Pitino back in the day with Kentucky, and he met this girl who was allegedly a restaurant waitress who ended up getting him into this big sex scandal, and it cost him. He had to go from Kentucky to Louisville. So it's the exploitation.
Were you saying that Louisville that's legal? Kentucky it wasn't?
Yeah. I'm saying how he went backwards in his career
wait a minute
because
now.
of that.
When I was in Southern Mississippi, that was the basketball team we looked forward. We sold out our only time we sold. When Louisville came to town, when Crum was there, that's the only game we ever sold. Oh, now we're talking about sex, and everybody stops their car, and everybody's listening about all this scandal at Penn State. Now's the time. Hey, vote the Coach James Hale Show. Best debate. I know we got a lot of people listening right now. We talking about all this stuff going on with sexual.
God, I want to go home.
So make sure you vote for Coach James Hale Show on Best Debate.
Show. I think we need to get back to the sports.
Well, that is sports.
That did involve the
was
football
sports.
locker room, and I get it. It does have to do with sports.
That could be a bad deal. Now I didn't know. Did you know about this?
No, I was just reading up on it.
Thank you, Chad. I'm glad you brought this up. Of course, I don't. I know how you think, and I think totally different. But as far as you know. But I mean, they just had the biggest scandal in the history of football.
It's like their snake bit.
It really is.
And
now, is she a Penn State fan? I mean, is she an Ohio State fan, or is she a Michigan State?
We'll let the feds figure
fan.
that out. But you just shake your head because there's only so much a president of a university can do. I mean, you put people in place. You try to keep these kind of things from happening. You try to talk to the students. Yeah. And next thing you know, what just happened?
Well, this could probably happen in any school.
It
really.
could. That's the part, and it probably does actually.
Yeah.
She's probably not just involved with Penn State. She's probably involved with other schools, or there's somebody else doing the same thing.
Yeah,
guarantee you.
What a way to win a championship! You have some prostitute go in there and make a big bunch of stink against the team that you think you're going to lose. I mean, it's almost like politics.
It
is politics.
I don't know. This just sounds something.
They need to have.
I don't know.
They need to have an organization.
It was probably somebody paid by a Michigan fan.
I was thinking the exact same thing. Maybe.
I think a Michigan fan put her up to it, or maybe she is a Michigan fan.
You think maybe?
So I'm just waiting for the moment where a student takes advantage of a scandal like this and is able to turn into an NIL deal down the road.
Oh,
my
goodness.
Unfortunately, that's exactly where the sport is right now.
I know. You never know which direction it's going.
I just got a picture sent here to me, and it was Michigan, the new F-22s. They're very impressive. Wow. Unbelievable.
I thought they were going to phase that out for the F-35 Lightning.
These are pretty nice, F-22s.
Eddie sent you that?
Eddie, can I fly it?
They won't even let Eddie kick the tires.
Yeah, this thing is nice, man. Goodness gracious.
F-22.
Oh, he said, don't say this is classified information. Don't sorry about that, Michigan.
Oops.
Oh, man.
Unbelievable. Matter of fact, I saw Michigan Eddie's daughter, beautiful daughter, working at J. Michael's restaurant. I looked at her, I said, "Your daddy Michigan Eddie?" She started that, "Yeah, coach." I said, "All right, cool." Hey, one other thing real quick before we get, we'll get back to your sexual harassment stuff here in a minute, Chad. But
it's now mine.
Yeah. See what you've done?
Yeah, I know.
All you young people, close your ears when Chad's on, please. No, I didn't know anything about that.
Well, he's a doctor.
That's going to be a problem, man. Really and truly, that's going to be an issue.
It's definitely a distraction for the team. It's definitely so it was last fall, right?
So they kept it quiet for a year, and then it gets out.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Anyway,
so
hey, the power of 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. Yesterday, Jared and I went and saw Elvis again, and these 4 people walk out. Coach Hale, we listened to you. We went and saw Elvis. We just left. It was awesome. It was unbelievable. And then I said, hey, you know what? I think I'm gonna get I think I'm gonna get some a kickback from that theater out there for all the stuff we do.
You ought to.
Yeah, but anyway, I thought that's pretty cool. So I thank my friends for listening.
The thing about it, you are the king of discounts, free tickets,
free lunches,
free lunches. There you go.
I gotta work on dinners next. Yeah.
You're the king.
How much time we got?
Oh, 1 minute.
1 minute. Doggone. All right, we'll be right back. Let's talk about there's somebody I have not mentioned today. You know what it is? Blue Sky Express Car Wash. We need to get Chaz's trucks, his truck lot.
After all this rain, you're going to need
you
it.
Get it out there and get it washed, make it look brand new. They do an incredible job, and they got that $9.99 special going on. Join their club, man. That's the best deal going out there. Join it. You're gonna wish you hadn't. Don't go pay one time. Get the $9.99 special. The join it thing is great. But you know what they did? They bought the best equipment money can buy. They got the best wax. They do a great job. Blue Sky Express Car Wash on Back Beach Road. Don't forget. And Rudy's Barbecue. Oh, my goodness. We're going to be giving away some Rudy's here in about 15 minutes. Get them phones ready now. We're getting ready to give away some Atlanta Braves stuff. Well, a chance to get your trip to Atlanta paid for. That 215-6290. We'll be doing that in just a little bit. We get back. We're going to talk about the real champions. I'm looking across the board now. The real champions, the Alabama Crimson Tides. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
ESPN Northwest Florida. Here's what's happening.
What's up, y'all? It's David Hayes from the Afternoon Underdogs. I'm stoked to be nominated as the best afternoon radio personality in the News Herald's Best of Bay. Show your support for live local radio and cast your vote now by going to ESPNPC.com. And remember, for a brighter tomorrow, vote David Hayes in 2022.
Good Monday morning. My forecast is calling for spotty showers and thunderstorms once again today, tonight, and Tuesday. Partly sunny during the day, partly to mostly clear at night. The high today and Tuesday, mid to upper 80s, southwest wind 10 to 15, the water temperature in the Gulf 86 degrees. This weather forecast has been brought to you by KHS and Associates, your source for affordable health insurance. For 104.3 and 102.1 ESPN Northwest Florida, I'm meteorologist Tim Root.
Hi folks, I'm Tracy at Tracy's Fine Jewelry. Santa called and he asked me to help everyone get ready for Christmas and avoid the stress and rush. So we've stocked the store and slashed the prices. All sterling silver jewelry is 25% off. All silver chains, pendants, earrings, bracelets, and rings. Also, our entire stock of Boulevard watches, 20% off. And we are offering free 6 months layaway. Tracy's Fine Jewelry takes the stress out of the holidays. So shop now where Santa shops during our Christmas and July sale at Tracy's Fine Jewelry.
From the Florida-Bama line to the Gulf of Mexico. WGSX Lynn Haven, WTOT, W271DM Mariana. Powered by Pepsi. ESPN Northwest Florida.
The brand new Burger King in Weeba Hitchka is looking for managers and team members. You'll get to use your smile and personality and get paid for it. You'll be responsible for getting guests excited about their experience every day at Burger King. You'll get to work in a safe, productive environment that allows employees to thrive and advance with career opportunities. Burger King promotes from within. They offer training and development, flexible schedules, employee meal discounts, and scholarship opportunities. Burger King is an equal opportunity employer. Interested job seekers should text 007-8075 to 31063 to apply. Must be at least 16 years of age.
Put down your natural light. It's time for the Alabama Update. The Alabama Update, weekday mornings at 8. On the Coach James Hale Show at 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Roll Tide, roll.
Rammer Jammer.
Let's do it, baby. Don't we want a rematch with Georgia? Don't
Sure we
want
do.
them
Absolutely.
Bulldogs?
Bring those Bulldogs.
Wouldn't it be awesome if we play them again for the national championship?
I think it'd be awesome.
This is like Woody and Bo, you know,
Mm-hmm.
Saban and Kirby. Kirby's smart. I love Kirby. All right, Alabama Updates brought to you by Stevenson Air Conditioning. Nobody, I'm telling you now, no one does a better job than Stevenson Air Conditioning. Chad, this is probably the only thing you can buy that actually pays for itself. You buy a brand new truck or several like somebody else I know, they go down in value. Well, actually, really, right now, you got a used vehicle that's going up, to be honest with you. But really, Stevenson Air Conditioning, it's going to save you money every single month with your power bill. They do a great job. They're honest, wonderful people. Stevenson Air Conditioning, number one. Not even close. All right. So, Chad, yesterday I was watching Saturdays Down South. I bet I watched 5 hours of it. They were going through the history of the SEC football, and they got into one particular guy. Do you remember You might remember. I know you won't, but you might. Richard Flowers. He was big wheel in the state of Alabama. His son went to Lanier High School where I played football. His son was an unbelievable athlete, but he was a track star.
What was his son's name?
Richard Flowers.
Oh, that was Richard Flowers.
Yeah, his daddy, I think, had the same name.
Oh, okay.
All right. His father, this kid ran track, was unbelievable. Coach Bryant comes into Lanier, comes to Montgomery, recruit him really hard. Wanted him big time. Everybody in the country wants him. He doesn't go to Alabama. He goes to Tennessee. Obviously, Alabama got a new track coach pretty soon afterwards. But it was not so much it was the way his father was treated. In one game in Crampton Bowl, Montgomery, Alabama, somebody sucker punched his dad. He was and I can't remember all the details, but came across as being for coloreds, and I don't know the whole. I should have paid more attention to it. I just don't remember it. But anyway, he goes to Tennessee. His last year there at Tennessee, he beats Alabama. He dives over the top. Tennessee beats Alabama, Knoxville, and they interviewed him. He said, I probably should have never said this because they were going you didn't go to Alabama. You didn't play for Bear Bryant. How could you not? He goes, I didn't want to be a guy that went and played for Bear Bryant. I wanted to be the guy that beat him. He goes, you would not believe the hate mail I got from my home state. And this guy played at my high school, Lanier High School, Montgomery, Alabama. And then it went on, and I was watching the rest of it, went on to September 12th, 1970, Southern Cal goes into Birmingham, and they destroy Alabama 42-21. And what they were getting at, more or less, it was like, did Coach Bryant miss an opportunity to do more for integrating the college football in the South and schools in general in the South? Then people said, this is one guy that had the power to do it. I mean, he was a living legend even back then.
Well, isn't he? I mean, when you see the what was the movie Woodlawn?
Yeah.
I mean, in that, he's and that was based on some historical facts, that movie. So, I mean, isn't Bear Bryant the one that actually did that?
Well,
during the
70s? What happened? Holloway, remember Holloway played at Huntsville, went to Tennessee. The quarterback was unbelievable. They said, we want you to come play at Alabama, but we can't let you play quarterback. And Holloway got on national TV and said, hey, Coach Bryant and Sugar Jordan both told me they didn't have a problem with me playing quarterback at Alabama or Auburn. The governor would not let him. George Wallace would not let it happen.
Oh, okay.
So Bear Bryant, back when he was in Kentucky in the 50s, wanted to play black players. The governor of the state said, no way. So Bear Bryant wanted to do it.
Okay.
But
so we got that straight.
But the governor of the state goes, no, you don't. And they control the purse strings. They got, how politics play into everything. And he wanted black players, but he couldn't do it. But people are still like, well, he should have, put his job on the line to do more for people. But, hey, wait, let's take this. Y'all put your headsets on. Let's take this call. Good morning.
Good morning.
Who is this?
This is Charles.
Hey, Charles, how you doing today?
I'm doing wonderful. If you remember, Richard Flowers Sr. was the Attorney General.
That's what it was. That's exactly. Thank you so much, Charles. I went brain dead.
Right,
and I
this
forgot.
is back when they was integrating the University of Alabama, and of course him being the law, that was the law.
That's what.
And he was for it, so that was why everybody was against Richard Flowers.
That's right. He was in Crampton Bowl, Montgomery, Alabama, where I played high school football, and somebody walked up behind him and just punched or sucked him, knocked him out. I mean, hurt the guy. And that's the reason his son did not go to Alabama the way his father was treated. He goes to Tennessee, and his senior year, he beats Alabama. He was an unbelievable player. But let me ask you something. And there were people that questioned Coach Bryant that he had the power to do it. And truly, if he would have done it and gone against those people, they could have fired him. And if he had lost, they would have fired him. So I'm going to side with Coach Bryant. I don't think he did anything wrong. He got the black players when he could. He didn't go against them. What did you think about it? Do you think Bear could have done more? I think behind the scenes he was doing a lot.
Well, I really think that football and politics need to stay away from each other.
Yeah.
Good luck with that.
Yeah. Politics
In
and
fact,
everything.
Politics and everything needs to stay away from each other.
Yeah. I agree.
In fact, we need some new politicians, period.
Don't get him started, caller, please.
Yeah.
Chuck, don't get him
I'm
started.
ready to jump in both feet,
Chuck,
but I'm
please.
holding back. I'm holding back, brother. I'm with you. I'm with you. But anyway, it was pretty good. I'm glad you called and told me about it. Matter of fact, let's give him a pop. Where do you live? You live in town or on the beach?
City,
Panama City. All right, we're going to give you a. You like pizza?
I love pizza.
All right, we're going to give you a paparazzi gift card. Don't hang up, Charles. John's going to get some information for you. Come on in the studio. They're going to give you, I think it's $20 or $25. I think it's 20. I think it's 20, maybe 25. I think it's $20 gift certificate, paparazzi. It's on Thomas Drive, and the guy that owns it, his name's John. He's a retired police officer, unbelievable guy. His family had a restaurant a deli up in New York for over 100 years. The food's incredible there. Go have yourself a free meal. And thank you so much for listening, and thank you for helping me that Richard Flowers thing.
No problem.
All right,
Talk to
buddy.
you later.
Don't hang up. Don't hang up. All right. Anyway, another thing they got into, though, is that not only, did Alabama lose to Southern Cal the year before, they had lost to Missouri, which was an integrated team, got beat bad in that game. And Bryant knew he wanted to win. We had to get some black players in there. And it went on. We all know this. It went on, and first player they signed was Wilbur Jackson, which one of my heroes. I'll never forget this to the day I die. 1973, we go to Birmingham, Legion Field. Both teams ranked in the top 10. Keith Jackson's there, pregame and all. I've never had a better time in my life. And Mr. Melton took us to the game. Alabama plays the first play of the game. Bear Bryant the entire year worked on the fullback dive. That's wishbone. That's what they did. The first play, we're going to open up with a fullback dive. No triple option, just a dive. And they went to Coach Bryant and said, let's run the post. Let's fake it and run the post to Wheeler. And he said, the game, he waited to the game, said, all right, let's do it. He fakes it, first play of the game. They hit Wayne Wheeler on an 80-yard touchdown pass. Place goes crazy. This is the first play I ever saw in college football. Place is going crazy. Unbelievable football game. Wilbur Jackson, number 80, because they signed to play wide receiver. And Pat Dye is the guy that signed him. And Pat Dye tells a story yesterday. Of course, it's recorded. He goes, yeah, I had some good buddies of mine, Alabama boosters, big, great guys. And I told them what we're getting ready to do with Wilbur. And they go, when you do that, we'll never come to another game. And he goes, that's your choice because we're going to sign him. If Wilbur come to Alabama, he's come to Alabama to play. He said then all of a sudden they fell in love with him. But that first play, he runs a sweep, takes 80 yards to the house. Alabama wins the game 42-21. It was really close for a while. Then Bama pulls away. And Condridge Holloway was a quarterback at Tennessee, the first black quarterback in the SEC. Anyway, it's really good yesterday. It was a lot on Bama, integration, everything like that. Really good. And I get tickled today when I see young black people talking about how they're mistreated. They have no idea what their grandfathers went through and I'd say grandfathers now because that was back in the 70s and 60s when everything was crazy. They got it made today compared to what it used to be in the 60s and 50s and 60s and stuff like that. But anyway, I thought it was really good watching that kind of stuff. I got some more in Alabama, but we've run out of time. You got anything you want to say about your mighty Crimson Tide? You got 30 seconds.
Roll Tide. That's what I'll say. I mean, I hope they're going to be good.
Are you young enough or old enough to remember all that stuff? Do you remember some?
I really started following Alabama in '78.
Okay.
And so that fits right in with the movie Woodlawn. When Tony Nathan's around and you got Jeff Rutledge as quarterback. That was my first, following Alabama an entire season as a kid.
Right. They won the national championship that year, I believe.
They did, and I saw my first ever Alabama game. We lost to USC, I think, like 38-3. There's a whole neat story to that. The car broke down.
20
whatever.
It was 24-14.
Was it? It was something like that.
It was in Legion Field.
It was. I have to look up the exact score. I'm made it up off the top of my head.
Look that up. I think I'm right. I think it was because it seemed like it was a blowout, but the score wasn't as bad as we thought.
It was a blowout to start for sure.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right, let's talk about some of our great people like Stevenson Air Conditioning. Did you take care of my
Yes,
boy?
I did.
Good job. That's a good man right there. Also, don't forget about South Oak Title and Closing. Chuck Tucker does a great job there. J. Michael's Restaurant on Thomas Drive every Wednesday. World famous spaghetti, the best seafood, the coldest beer. J. Michael's, number one. Tell them Coach sent you. Buffalo Rock, they've done so many great things for Bay County, especially the school districts. Unbelievable. Let's take care of them. Buffalo Rock Products, Pepsi, Dr. Pepper, they do an incredible job there. American Charlie, Edgewater Shopping Center, unbelievable food. Catfish is incredible every Friday. We'll be right back. Auburn Tigers, 215-6290. What are we giving away? 104.
Right now, we're going to take caller number 5 at 215-6290. Caller number 5 gets tickets to Atlanta Braves baseball game. They get airfare. They get a card for to get back and forth, an Uber card, and a handful of cash. Be caller number 5, 215-6290, and look at the phone calls coming in.
ESPN Northwest Florida, the Paul Feinbaum Show.
I hope you have mentioned that you had the greatest idea for a trophy game in the history of trophy games. For those who don't know, Braden has long endorsed the idea of Michigan and Wisconsin playing every year for the right to control the Upper Peninsula. And I think it is the most brilliant trophy game idea in the history of college football.
The Paul Feinbaum Show, weekdays 6 to 10 on 102.1 and 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Good Monday morning. My forecast is calling for spotty showers and thunderstorms once again today, tonight, and Tuesday. Partly sunny during the day, partly to mostly clear at night. The high today and Tuesday, mid to upper 80s, southwest wind 10 to 15, the water temperature in the Gulf 86 degrees. This weather forecast has been brought to you by Earthworks of Northwest Florida. For 104.3 and 102.1 ESPN Northwest Florida, I'm meteorologist Tim Root.
Mr. Rogers said, look for the helpers. You can always find people who are helping. Thank you to all the first responders who put their lives in danger to help us when my brothers and sisters and mom and dad and grandpa and grandma need them.
Thank you, first responders.
This is what I signed up for as a first responder. I am constantly worried about being exposed to this virus and potentially bringing it back to my home and my family. I'm going to continue going to work day in and day out and providing help to those that need it.
We look out for the helpers because they look out for us.
Thank you, first responders. Thank you, first responders. Thank you, first responders.
Love you. Mwah.
Be safe, look after yourself, and look after one another. Thanks.
Learn how you can help first responders in your community by texting BRAVE to 24365.
Tiger fans, join us weekday mornings at 8:15. It's the Bay Point Golf Auburn Update on the Coach James Hale Show at 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
We are. It's going up.
All right.
Welcome back. We got a winner. Man, that phone is blowing up.
It's
We've got
still
a winner.
blowing up.
But you know what? If you keep calling, we'll give you something. We'll give you a Chad Mitchell update, a physical or something. But Bobby won, huh, Bobby? Bobby, how you doing this morning?
I'm doing great, Coach. How are you?
I'm doing outstanding. What do you think, man? Them Hurricanes going to do anything this year?
I hope so, man. I hope so. I got high hopes anyway.
Well, I know one thing. We had a great quarterback named Johnny Gray.
Yes, sir.
Unbelievable young man. Married a beautiful young lady that grew up at our house, Morgan Miley. And all Johnny did was produce 3 triplets. They had 3 babies at one time. Unbelievable.
Dang.
Unbelievable.
My
You ever
wife's out
see
there right now.
You ever see old Johnny Gray?
I don't see him very often because he lives out at the beach, but my wife, like I say, she goes out there every once or twice a week to help Jill, Morgan's mom, out with the baby.
Yeah, they're going to need help. You got 3 at one time, you're going to need all the help you can get.
That's right.
All right, wait, tell us now, what's going to happen? Cristobal, I think you got home run hiring him. I think he's going to do great things there. What do you think year one? Year one's your hardest year.
Bringing in Steele and Gaddis is going to help him a lot, and we got the AD from Clemson. He's supposed to be top of his game, so
yeah,
we'll see.
Well, what about the stadium? John McVay told me they're going to have a new stadium near campus. What are you hearing about that?
I'm just hearing that. At first, I thought it was just going to be a soccer stadium, but now I guess what's his name? Beckham. I guess he's going to let Hurricanes play there as well.
Oh, yeah. Whoever's built some billionaire down there, some doctor.
Yeah, we got a lot of money.
A lot of money. A lot of money. All right. Let me ask you this: would you rather see Miami? Would you rather see Miami in the SEC, or would you rather see them right where they're at in the ACC?
Well, being in the SEC is more, more recruiting, more TV time, more money for everybody around.
Yeah, and think about this, Bobby. If you got Miami, Miami in the SEC, I mean, your home ticket sales would go through the roof. Georgia,
no doubt.
Georgia. Let's just say they get Georgia one year, Tennessee, Alabama, Texas A&M, LSU, all going down there to play. You know good and well people come watch those games.
That's right. That's right.
But I don't know. We'll see how it plays out with the expansion and everything like that. SEC Media Day is going on today. I'm sure they'll address that somewhat. The word is they're not going to expand anytime soon, but, yeah, that could be something else. Hey, listen, man, congratulations on your win. Now, did he tell you the whole story if you do win?
Yeah.
Okay, good. We'll lead together. We'll have a great time. You're buying everything with the money. We're going to have a wonderful time in Atlanta.
As long as you give me that handful, we'll do it.
All right, brother. Hey, man, thanks for listening. We'll talk to you soon, brother.
Thank you. Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right, buddy. We got another caller. What are we doing? Okay, good. War Eagle, Martha Kinney, James Gualmai, and now Miss Mitchell. What's your wife's first name?
Ada.
Ada Mitchell. War Damn Eagle. Chaz is Central Florida, Alabama, and now Auburn.
Well, FSU is my second favorite team.
Yeah, you got a lot of love. You spread a lot of love.
Listen, I love college football. That's why, yes, do I root against Georgia? Yes, I do. But do I like the team? Do I like Kirby? Do I like college football? Absolutely. I mean, I just love college football. And so, you know, there's a part of me there's part of me that likes coaches, you know?
Yeah. You pretty people like you. I mean, I do. People like you. You do a great job as a doctor.
I try not to be the obnoxious Alabama fan. I mean, you know, I do remember the 90s when I kept losing every game, and, you know, you learn to watch some other teams.
Well, we'd lose. You say we lose every game. We only lost maybe 5 in 1 year. But it seemed like every game. For Alabama, that's an undefeated, terrible season. All right, Auburn's, they're going to bring Tank Bigsby. I love him, man. He's probably one of the top running backs in the entire. We got a caller. Let's take this call. Good morning.
Go Blue Trucks.
Oh, my God. Oh, man. We're talking about great things. Hey, listen, let me tell you something. Your wife produced some good-looking kids. Your daughter is beautiful.
Thank you.
Did she tell you I saw her?
Yeah, she did, and they do take after Deanna. Definitely not me. You're absolutely right.
Now, what's the deal with you people from Michigan having the Penn State players take dirty pictures of themselves and trying to get them in trouble again?
Okay, hold on, Coach. You better get ready. I got my Speedo on. I'm going up the 10-meter. I'm going to dive right into this after that great phone call from that American phone caller, Charles.
All right, go ahead.
Here's the problem. The problem that's encompassing sports today and America in general, let's be honest. Yeah, it is the politicians because we need to replace all of them from local on up, even here in Panama City and the beach. But it starts at the pulpit. How many churches have Sunday night services now? How many churches have Wednesday night services? How many churches are still closed using the China virus as an excuse? And because of that, and the traditional American family is being destroyed by radical idiots, the crap you get out of Penn State and sexting and all that is a part of that. It's a part of that.
Yeah.
And I'm preaching today because people need to hear it.
How do you really feel, Eddie?
And I don't give a dang because our country's going to crap, and it's infiltrating our beloved sports. Greed's taking over, and all this crap. And now, idiot governor boy out in California is threatening to boycott. Granted, I'm not for this move, saying he's going to relook and try to block UCLA's move to Big Ten. Hey, why don't you fix your state idiot, instead of worrying about a school jumping sports conference.
Why would the governor get involved with
I
Southern
don't get
Cal
that.
and
I
UCLA
don't get
move?
that.
All they're going to do is
No,
make huge money.
Just to make the news.
Because you want to know why?
He didn't get a
he's
cut.
He's part of the Board of Regents and all that.
Wow.
I
Unbelievable.
guess he's the head of the whole Board of Regents as governor or whatever. But he's an idiot, and they want to send him to be president 24. What kind of morons would think that? Anyway, I'm just preaching, man.
No,
People need to
you
hear
know
the truth,
what?
and I don't care if I get suspended. I don't care.
Well,
I don't care.
Yeah, that's the problem. Everybody tells you don't say this, don't say that, and that's the reason they get away with what they do. But you know what? This one thing you did say. There's somebody out there that'll never turn against you and is always there for you, no matter what you do.
Amen.
And that's Jesus.
Amen.
You know?
That's right.
So
That's right.
I'm with you, man.
Eddie, what about the new F-22s? We want to hear about it.
Yeah. Okay. Here's something. The F-35 is not replacing the F-22. It's a multi-role fighter that is basically. It's kind of like the newer F-16. It's a granted, still expensive, but you know how they built a lot of F-16s, like thousands of them.
Right.
That's kind of the mindset of the F-35. So no jet right now can replace the F-22.
Okay,
that's all I'm going to say on that
I
matter.
misspoke.
That's all I'm going to say. Yes, you did, and I'm here to correct you on that.
Okay.
It's an air superiority plane.
It's a fifth-gen fighter. You guys correct me all the time, so I'm going to correct you right back. There you go.
I'm just listening.
You don't have to take so much pride in it, though, Eddie.
I mean, man, you know.
He is on today. Hey, and you know what, though?
Listen,
God bless you. I'm glad you said what you said. Hey, let me ask you this. Let me ask you a sports question. And I don't know how much you've watched him. I truly believe, and though, come in with me, help me. Chad, you too. I do think Bigsby's one of the best running backs in college football. I really do.
Oh, yeah. No, I
Look
think
what
he
he's
is
done
as
since
well.
he's been there on a very average football team.
Yep.
They're taking him up to – now, he's only a junior because we all know where he's going to be next year. He's going to be in the NFL after this football season. So their coach is taking him up there. I like that. Most of the time they take seniors, but they do take some juniors they feel like won't be playing anymore. And we all think he'll be in the NFL if he's healthy, if he doesn't get hurt. They're taking also Auburn's taking Derek Hall, a defensive end. He is also I think he's a senior. Yeah, he is a senior. So that's two of the players Auburn's taking up there. I'm telling you all to watch out. Every time we think Auburn's dead and gone, that's the year you got to look out for him. But what do you think about Bigsby? I really think Michigan. I don't know if you watched him that much. He got criticized when he didn't run out of bounds. When he ran out of bounds, and Alabama, got a couple more seconds, and they went into overtime and won the game. But what do you think about him? How good do you think he is?
Well, Auburn alumni are like Michigan alumni. They're a bunch of gray-haired idiots. But I love Auburn, and I tell you, I hope they beat Alabama every single year. And I love me some tanks.
Hang the phone up. Go ahead.
He's an Abrams. He's a Sherman tank, man. I mean, I love him on and off the field. He stayed when his coach and was trying to weather that storm. And like every time I call, we're talking about tank. That's fine, And he's a great back. He kept Auburn in that game against the Iron Bowl last year. Helped out his quarterback. Granted, he should have stayed in bounds. That's another thing.
All right, let me ask though. What do you think about him? Do you think he's truly one of the great ones?
I think he's one of the most talented backs in the country right now. And the fact that he did stay, that's a great point. That shows a commitment.
Because everybody
to the
else
team.
was hauling out of there.
Bigger than the individual.
Now, is there any truth to the matter that you were kind of behind the scenes pushing people out of Auburn to go to see Central Florida?
Not. No, I'm kind of ticked off about the whole thing. I side with my wife on this. The fans are pretty hurt by how that was handled and that all these false allegations were made against the coach. And you see players like Tank and others that stood up for Coach Harsin, knowing who he really is, and then you find out the truth that, okay, all this mess was made up, trying to get him out the door and trying to put some kind of pressure on him, and while he's on vacation. Right. So to see players like Tank and others stand up for him, I mean, that's awesome.
You see what Charles Barkley said?
I did not see what
Charles Barkley said. You need to slap some of these Auburn fans. He said, leave him alone. He can get the job done. Stay out of his business.
And listen, Charles Barkley, I do like Charles Barkley.
I do too. I love Charles Barkley.
Yeah.
But this has been such a problem with Auburn for quite a while. I mean, it seemed like every year they're trying to get rid of Tuberville back in the day.
Yeah.
Right. You know, they're
like-
never happy with the
It's
coach
like
they have.
Alabama in the 90s. I'm telling you,
Well,
it's just like Alabama in the 90s.
I think they're like Michigan fans. Oh, is he still on the phone? Hey, Michigan, hey, we got to take a break. You gonna hang up? You gonna stay with us?
I gotta go do the America's work. I gotta go.
Hey,
do
God
my
bless
real
you for
job.
standing up for the United States of
Hey,
America.
and I got one more thing. Local leaders of Bay County, get off your stuff and do your job. Make it everybody's back to Tyndall. Bay County's dependent on. That's everybody. Mayors, representatives, everyone. Go with trucks here. Everybody's back to. I'm out to you. And Doug Mitchell, you have a visitor today in your office.
All
Yeah,
right.
love you guys. Bye.
How does he talk that fast?
I don't. It's a Michigan
I
thing.
cannot talk that fast.
a good
I
build-up
would
there.
stumble. I know I'd stumble all over
I don't even
myself.
think that fast.
After this, I got to go LD Radio, Tequila Bar and Grill on happy hour. 4 to 7, the best Mexican food, newest restaurant out there on Thomas Drive, right across from the Navy base. I tell you, it's the only thing that's really worked there at that location. They are tearing it up. The food's great. Atmosphere is unbelievable. Happy hour. Go try them. You'll love them. Dr. Chad Mitchell, if anybody gets hurt, what's the best way to get up with you?
Call Southern Orthopedic Specialists at 850-785-4344.
Where
They
you
can also
located that, Doc?
1827 Harrison Avenue.
Okay.
Yep, Southern Orthopedics. And you can look me up at www.chadmitchellmd.com.
And that back room back there, he's got a lot of Buffalo Rock products. Really good. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Hey, Braves fans. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida has your chance to win weekly prizes from Slim Chicken, Rudy's Barbecue, That Boot Store, Guthrie's, and Rib Crib with Atlanta Braves Trivia. Step 1, open the ESPN Northwest Florida app and click Braves Trivia. Step 2, answer trivia about a recent game. Step 3, score some tasty prizes and come home a hero. The Atlanta Braves on the Gulf Coast. Listen live on 104.3 in the ESPN Northwest Florida app.
Hear that? That's the plumpest, juiciest hot dogs you've ever seen getting their grill on. But we both know what'll make it sound even better. Oh yeah, it's a Pepsi to go with your hot dog. Because when you're chomping on America's favorite meal, relish, mustard, and onions perfectly blending into a crescendo of flavor, there's only one thing that makes everything about that moment better. A cold, refreshing Pepsi. One mouth-watering sip is all it takes to make this whole experience go from pretty good to jaw-droppingly, table-poundingly incredible. Don't believe me? Just listen. See what I mean? It's like music to my ears. And if you'll excuse me, I have a date with the two most beautiful things I've ever seen or heard. Hot dogs. Better with Pepsi. That's what I like.
Buffalo Rock Company in Panama City is currently accepting applications for delivery merchandisers, as well as other positions. Please apply online at buffalorock.com/careers. Buffalo Rock Company is an equal opportunity employer. It is Buffalo Rock Company policy to provide equal employment opportunities to all qualified applicants, without regard to race, color, religion, sex, sexual orientation, gender identity, national origin, age, protected veteran, or disabled status.
Hi folks, I'm Tracy at Tracy's Fine Jewelry. Santa called and he asked me to help everyone get ready for Christmas and avoid the stress and rush. So we've stocked the store and slashed the prices. All diamond jewelry 30 to 50% off this month. All diamond rings, pendants, earrings, bracelets, and necklaces. And we're offering free 6 months layaway. Tracy's Fine Jewelry takes the stress out of the holidays. So shop now where Santa shops during our Christmas and July sale at Tracy's Fine Jewelry.
From the J. Michael Studio. Listen weekday mornings to Coach Hale at 8:15 and the afternoon underdogs at 4:45 to win a prize pack and get qualified for the 5-year flyaway.
This thing is clear for takeoff.
From 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
And welcome back to 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. Appreciate so much you people listening. Appreciate you so much for calling in. Call us anytime you'd like. Anytime you call, we'll try to give you something, talk about whatever you want to talk about. 215-6290. Appreciate Throw Bishop being here this morning, the Georgia Bulldog himself, Dr. Chad Mitchell, the Bama guru, Central Florida, Florida State. You name it, Auburn Tiger. He's
Central
everything.
Guru.
He is the man.
He loves it when I say go Knights and charge on. He loves that.
Anything you do, I love. All right, this is SEC Media Days. Again, the commissioners addressing the crowd today. You can watch all of it on ESPN. You can watch it all on the SEC Network if you have that on your cable TV. LSU is going to go today. Ole Miss, Missouri. Let's jump into LSU. We'll try to look at their schedule, talk a little about them. I'm with you, though. I do believe they've got a good coach. I think he's going to do a great job. Now, Jason says it's just not a good fit. I get that, what he's saying. It doesn't seem like it's a good fit. Him going there trying to fake talk like a Cajun, dance. He can't dance. That cost him. The kid went to Alabama. They laughed, made fun of him. But he can coach. He's recruiting pretty well right now. I think he's going to win a national championship there if he stays long enough. The last 3 head coaches won a national championship there. Chad, am I wrong or right? I think Brian Kelly's going to do a great job at LSU.
I think he's going to do a great job at LSU too. I think he's going to have the talent that he, for some reason, couldn't get to Notre Dame.
Yeah.
And so is he going to do it year one? I don't think so, but you never know. I mean, he's a good coach. They've got good talent. LSU initially lost a lot of players in the, to NFL and the transfer
portal. But they had guys transfer in.
Right. But they have actually improved their team with the transfer portal and recruiting and all that over this last year and bringing in Kelly. So actually, I think it's a net win with everything that's gone on. So he's gonna have the talent around him, and he's certainly a great coach that can make talent work. Now he's got SEC talent at his disposal. We'll see. And FSU has their hands full game one.
Well, before we get into LSU, let's go back because you had brought up something that I forgot to mention during the Alabama update. They just got some people have him ranked as a 5-star, some have a 4-star. What'd you say, the 48th best player in the country?
Oh, yeah, the player Alabama got.
Yeah. What was his name?
Haynes. It's Ron Haynes' kid. He's running back out of Georgia. And
I thought Georgia was going to get him for real.
I hate to lose the legacy like that. But Georgia did make it up by getting Todd Bowles' son, who's a linebacker. I think 44 ranked overall.
Right.
So it was a balanced weekend for us. But you hate to.
Georgia's doing well.
Alabama also got a quarterback out of Georgia, number 62, last week.
Big, good-looking kid.
It's kind of interesting, the Nick Saban Kirby Smart wars of who's going to take players from each other's state. It's always interesting to watch. Two great competitors.
Now, getting back to LSU, Florida State, I'm going to go to that game. Looking forward to that. I really cannot wait to watch the LSU fans. It's not in Baton Rouge, but it's in New Orleans, Superdome. It's going to be crazy down there. 30,000 FSU people will be down there in Bourbon Street. We're going to get there. We're leaving Friday. Going to watch all college game day and everything, all the games Saturday, and then the game Sunday. Cannot wait. We'll be off that Monday. We'll be coming back that Monday. I think we have a national show. It's a holiday that day. But I think Florida State's going to have their hands full week one with Coach Brian Kelly's LSU Fighting
LSU's
Tigers.
got some talent for sure. FSU's been working on their talent. LSU has some talent.
Yeah.
Now it all depends on how they play. FSU's been, building up, hopefully getting better, and hopefully this is going to be a good season for them.
What's going to happen
be a big
week
test.
one? You tell us right now who wins.
It's
way too early for this, but we're going to do it anyway.
It's going to be a close game. I'm siding with FSU on this one just because I think Kelly's got to work some of the bugs out, so I'm on side with FSU. I think FSU's got a very good shot of beating LSU in this game.
Who you like? For me, it's like you got 30,000 fans there. Everybody else in the state is going to be pulling for LSU. What do you think?
I think LSU's got the advantage. I mean, to me, modern college football is all about the coach. And I'm sorry, I don't think Mike Norvell is anywhere close to Brian Kelly's level right now. He's got arguably the best job in the entire country with all the advantages that LSU has. Again, plenty of talent. I think it's going to be a disciplined team going in there. I think LSU. I mean, I think their over/under for wins for the season right now is at 7. I could see them overperforming. Getting 9, even with the difficulties and the talent in the West.
Right. You're right. If they get on the same page, watch out. I think it's going to be a great football game, and I'll push on this one. I'm going to talk about that later. I'm not sure right now who I'd go with.
Yeah.
I do think this. I think it's time for FSU to win games.
It is. It's time for them to step up. That's right. If they're going to do it, they got to do that.
I like him. He's a great guy. But, man, this is FSU. We got to win football games.
Exactly.
Right, who they got second?
They got the Southern Jaguars. This is LSU. Playing
Home,
FSU
that's home.
first. Yep. Then they're playing the Southern Jaguars on the 10th of September.
Blowout.
Yeah.
Okay, who
Should
they
be
got
a
after that?
blowout. Then Mississippi State, which,
Ooh.
that'll be
Yeah,
a
we
great
have
game.
last-
There'll be a little bit of rivalry
Mike
there.
Leach's first year, he shocks them. Where's that game played at?
It says versus Mississippi State, so I'm
At home.
assuming it's at
Home.
LSU.
Yeah, it's at home, yeah. Who you like?
I'm going to go with the home field advantage. I mean, Baton Rouge
I'm going
is just
LSU.
a different thing.
No doubt. Who you got?
I'm going to go with LSU.
Okay, who they got after that?
They got the New Mexico Lobos.
Kill them.
Yep.
They're making a lot of money. They're playing a lot of SEC
They are.
schools.
And good
making
for
money.
them. Hey, they're.
Who they got after that? So right now we got them undefeated, 3-0.
You're right.
3-0. Okay.
And so
four.
I think this is going to start off as a good game. I think it's Auburn. They're at Auburn though, so Auburn's got the home field advantage, but they're struggling. But they do have Tank Bigsby, and it depends on how their quarterback situation turns out and how well Kelly's got LSU ready. But anyway, Auburn's that game.
All right, let's take this phone call. Good morning.
Caller.
Good morning.
Caller.
Hello. Yes, give Coach Hale some money.
He's there.
Hello?
Hey, good morning. How you
He was
doing?
there somewhere.
Can you hear us?
Can you hear me now? Somehow my Bluetooth wasn't working right.
We can hear you perfectly. Who is this?
This is Richard.
Hey, Richard.
So my comment about the FSU-LSU game is you're forgetting, I agree it's going to be a close game, that FSU will have had one tune-up game before that game. LSU, this will be their first game under Kelly, under all these coordinators, and they don't really have a quarterback that's won the job. This is not a returning quarterback. FSU's quarterback, as long as he can stay healthy, you think by the second game of this year, he's going to continue to be healthy at that point, is improved every year, and he is the biggest reason why FSU's got an experienced quarterback. He's got basically a 2-3 year starter. So LSU, they've got the kid from Arizona State, but he didn't play well last year. Everybody's a transfer. I think it's going to take him a while to get it on the same page.
Yeah.
I think this is a great chance for FSU to win the game.
All right. Are you going to go to the game?
No, I'll watch it on TV.
Okay.
So, but have fun while you're there.
Yeah, I can't wait, man. It's going to be fun seeing all those FSU people down Bourbon Street and everything like that. And then it's just something else watching those LSU fans. They're crazy.
Yeah, no, there'll be a lot of alcohol sales. I don't know what the record is at the Sugar Bowl, but Sugar Dome, but Superdome.
Can't wait. Sunday
But
night, everybody in the nation. What's so great about that?
If you remember, last year FSU, the first game of the year, took Notre Dame to overtime.
They sure
and really
did.
should have won the game.
Yeah, they should have. You're right. That's a good point. And you're right. Who they play? They had a home game. What's the name of it? I never heard of it.
They played Duquesne, which is an FCS team.
Yeah.
So they've got it sets up perfectly for them while LSU's trying to figure things out. Everybody always says, you would know better than me, that the biggest improvement is between your first game and your second game.
That's what they say.
I sure hope so, though, for FSU fans. I mean, I know a lot of them. I mean, they at this point, they just seem happy to get to a bowl game. I mean, to me, Mike Novell going into, his third year now, I mean, if they're not competing for the ACC, I mean, that's a program that has been on the sidelines for way too long. Like, they need to be up there.
It took a while to clean the culture out and throw a COVID year in there. It really it took a while. They turned that roster completely over. So this is a big year for them, but they've got a hard schedule with Clemson, Florida, LSU. Those are, except for Clemson, those are non-conference games. Miami. So
it's
7 wins. I'll be happy with 7 wins. So.
Oh,
Thank you very much.
Wait a minute, before you get off, I got to ask you this because I talked to some big booster. And he said, like you did, he said 7 wins, he'll be okay. And do you agree with that? You think 7 wins, he gets another year, or do you think? I thought the number was 8.
Oh, absolutely. They're still paying Willie Taggart another year.
Oh, okay. All right.
The big money people. You'll read on the FSU boards that there's a loud minority that wants to fire this coach, that coach, this coach. But you look at the majority of the comments, and from my understanding, the athletic director, the president, they understand they can't afford another buyout and start all over again and take 4 or 5 years.
Right.
This is always going to take a number of years between the last years of Jimbo and the 2 years of Willie Taggart.
Hey,
This had to get turned over.
Yeah, that's a great point. I didn't even think about that. Hey, let me ask you this: have we given you anything away in the last month?
Yeah, you already did. I'm
Okay.
not up until August, so
Okay.
You've already done that.
All right, buddy. Thanks for listening. Thank you so much for
Thank
calling.
you.
Great call.
Bye-bye.
All right, well, who's next? Oh, we got to take a break. Let's take a break real quick. We'll come back and finish up with LSU Fighting Tigers. You know, that's a good point. You paying coaches off left and right. You can't just keep firing them.
Yeah, I mean, it's the difficulty though is that where's the recruiting progress? I know that it's a little bit better perhaps in the Taggart years, but FSU's too good of a brand to be dealing with mediocrity.
It breaks my heart when I think 7 wins. It's not making people happy with 7. That's probably the wrong way to word it, but they got to win. We got to start winning football games, man.
I mean, you look at what Sam Pittman was able to do at Arkansas, right? I mean, even with the COVID year and things like that,
Yeah.
you need some positivity.
Yeah, they need to win. All right, let's talk about Dr. Chad Mitchell. Chad, the best way to get up with the legendary Chad Mitchell.
Call Southern Orthopedic Specialists at 850-785-4344. You can also go to www.chadmitchellmd.com.
When you get through with Chad, your body's going to be in shape to go play golf at Bay Point. You're going to have a wonderful time there. You're going to be hungry. Then you're going to drive down to Rudy's Barbecue and have the best barbecue turkey sandwich you ever had. Wonderful people. And then after that, on the way home, you got to go by Blue Sky Express Car Wash, get your car washed. No doubt. Everybody knows that. And then that night, you're going to Newbies. I mean, we got it all planned for you right here on 104.3 ESPN Northwest. I'll be right back.
ESPN Northwest Florida. It's the Coach James Hale Show.
The bottom line would solve everything. There's no more free lunch. It's not my job to feed your kids. No more free lunch. It's not my job to pay for your insurance. It's not my job to pay for your housing.
Preach it.
Yeah.
Hey, next time you come in, I'll remind you that no more free lunch.
Weekday mornings 7 to 9. ESPN Northwest Florida.
Good Monday morning. My forecast is calling for spotty showers and thunderstorms once again today, tonight, and Tuesday. Partly sunny during the day, partly to mostly clear at night. The high today and Tuesday, mid to upper 80s, southwest wind 10 to 15, the water temperature in the Gulf 86 degrees. This weather forecast has been brought to you by Mid-South Lumber, the best little lumber yard in Panama City. For 104.3 and 102.1 ESPN Northwest Florida, I'm meteorologist Tim Root.
Is your mouth watering yet? We know that juicy, cheesy, grilled to perfection burger sounds amazing, but it does sound like something is missing. Pepsi, baby! The yin to this burger's yang. Burgers and Pepsi go together like burgers and Pepsi. This perfect blending of flavors makes every bite of lettuce, every sesame seed on the bun, and every sip of that crisp, refreshing, ice-cold cola a journey to Foodtopia. Hit me with the sound effects again. Ladies, gentlemen, if you're feeling the way I'm feeling, we should both go get us a piece of that cheesy, beefy perfection with a delicious, refreshing Pepsi. Burgers, better with Pepsi. That's what I like.
Buffalo Rock Company in Panama City is currently accepting applications for delivery merchandisers, as well as other positions. Please apply online at buffalorock.com/careers. Buffalo Rock Company is an equal opportunity employer. It is Buffalo Rock Company policy to provide equal employment opportunities to all qualified applicants, without regard to race, color, religion, sex, sexual orientation, gender identity, national origin, age, protected veteran, or disabled status.
Hi folks, I'm Tracy at Tracy's Fine Jewelry. Santa called and he asked me to help everyone get ready for Christmas and avoid the stress and rush. So we've stocked the store and slashed the prices. All colored gemstones have been reduced 50 to 70% off. Emeralds, rubies, sapphires, amethysts, blue topaz, tanzanites, opals, and many more. And we are offering free 6-month layaway. Tracy's Fine Jewelry takes the stress out of the holidays. So shop now where Santa shops during our Christmas and July sale at Tracy's Fine Jewelry.
Welcome to It's the Coach James Hale Show.
But I believe diversity is an old wooden ship that was used during the Civil War era.
Live from the J. Michael Studio, 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Good, James. Get on up. James Brown, Celebrity Hot Tub. That was cool. We went to the Chaz house one night. He had the hot tub going. We were playing James Brown. We had a blast.
I'm never invited into these posts.
This was last year. You weren't in the picture then, man.
It must have been while I was gone, and it must be related to this whole Penn State scandal. Somehow I'm being extorted. Somehow I'm being extorted. It's coming. I hear it from Coach Hale, all the way from Hale, Alabama.
Hale, Alabama. Bishop, Georgia. All right, what do we got a Mitchell.
So we're getting back to the LSU schedule since, they're going to be up first on media days. They're playing FSU, Southern Jaguars, Mississippi State, University of New Mexico, Auburn.
Who do you like in this one?
I like LSU. I think Auburn's going to keep it close. I think it's going to be a good game to watch, but I think LSU has got more talent.
Who you got?
Yeah, I'm leaning LSU on this one. Again, wouldn't shock me at all if Auburn overperforms, but I think LSU's going to have talent advantage.
Home team advantage. Probably a night game, too. What do you got?
Next game, Tennessee. It's going to be a good game.
Where's that game played at?
It looks like it's at LSU, so it's advantage LSU. But Tennessee, man, that's going to be a great game to watch.
That's going to be a good one.
Yeah, that's one I have to put on my schedule.
I'm not sure who I'd go right now with that one.
Me either. But Tennessee, man, that's one of those. I just get the feeling that Tennessee is gonna, it's gonna have a minimum 8 wins. I mean, just the way. Just the whole aura about what's going on at Tennessee. Yeah. All right, then next is Florida.
Wait a minute, go back. Who you got?
I'm going to give Tennessee the advantage, but again, having it at home, wouldn't surprise me at all if particularly at that point. I mean, LSU could go in that as a favorite depending on how they perform during the season. So I'm going to lean Tennessee at this point, but it wouldn't shock me at all if things change between now and then.
So then they got Florida. It's at Florida. So in the swamp, Tennessee. At Florida, it really depends on how good Florida is. That's the unknown for a lot of us.
Yeah.
Like, how good is Florida going to be? Are they going to be like last year's team? Are they going to be a little bit better?
They throw a shoe.
Coach.
Remember they threw the shoes in the home game in the fog.
Yeah.
Who do you like in that one?
I like LSU at this point. Again, I'm down on the Gators this season. I think that Napier's going to improve the recruiting, but I think it's going to take a little bit. Scheme-wise, I think it's a massive downgrade from Mullen.
And both of them are in their first-year head coach. It seems like it does kind of seem on paper LSU has more talent than the Gators have right now.
Yeah. And when Napier went into Florida, he brought in a bunch of his guys, which is great. I understand so that works a little bit different, but his offensive coordinator is an offensive line coach, so they're going very heavy. Yeah. Again, I'm just not sure if that's going to compete with where the SEC is right now.
Yeah. Who they got that?
Ole Miss.
That's going to be a game now.
That's going to be a good game.
Where's that game played at?
It looks like it's at LSU. But I will tell you, in my opinion, I give the advantage Lane Kiffin. I think this is going to be one of the games he wins.
I'm on board the Lane trend this year. Yeah. He's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
But LSU's got 3 big games at home between with this one then the Alabama game after this one.
All the big games seem to be at home.
So you got Ole Miss at home, then you got Alabama at home.
That's the next game.
That's the next game.
I like Bama. This look who they've played back to back to back. Man, that's crazy.
Well, and then the third one is going to be at Arkansas.
Good.
And I think Arkansas is the team to watch, y'all.
Yeah, in the West,
they're going to be tough. I really feel like they're going to be a lot better than they were last year.
Players love Sam Pittman.
Go do.
Go back to their schedule. Good. Tennessee, Florida, Ole Miss, Alabama, Arkansas, all back to back.
Yep.
Yeah.
Crazy.
It is nuts.
And you open up with FSU. Their schedule's brutal.
Yeah. So that's a tough one. And then they get UAB Right.
And they're not a slouch.
November 19th.
Now,
No, they're
their
not.
coach just quit. He had back
yeah.
issues.
Well, so anyway, but that'll be a game they can work on some things. And then they're at Texas A&M at the end of the season. LSU at Texas A&M.
Yeah.
Traditionally, this is a game to want to watch. If LSU has, let's say they've got a 2-loss record at that point, that'll be a sure enough game to watch. But if LSU's struggling through the season, obviously A&M's going to have the advantage.
Man, I tell you what, their schedule is crazy.
Yep.
I mean,
not just throughout the West, it's just going to be a division that just eats itself.
You can go look at who's got some wiggle room in between all those big tough games in the West, and LSU doesn't seem to have any. When you got Tennessee's going to be good.
Oh yeah, I think Tennessee's going to be good.
Your crossover's Tennessee, then you got FSU to open up with. Wow.
So Arkansas's got a reasonable schedule.
Don't do them yet.
I know, but I'm just looking at it, just kind of giving a preview.
Really? All right, let's get to Ole Miss. Let's jump in. Because these are those teams that are going to be speaking today. Brian Kelly will be there. Lane Kiffin's going to be there. Let's look at Ole Miss's schedule. Everybody in the West is going to be tough. 3 minutes. Let's go quick.
Give me a second to pull it up.
You got to pull it up?
Yeah, I got to pull it up.
I had some stuff on Lane. I don't have enough time to do it today. I will do it tomorrow. 5 schools they said he would leave for. The number 1 was Tennessee. I'm like, I just don't think that's going to happen.
No, I think Tennessee fans are finally they're comfortable with their coach.
Yeah,
now.
I don't see that one happening. All right, go ahead. What you got?
So they start off with Troy.
That's going to be a competitive game. Ole Miss will win it, but that'll be competitive.
Yep, Ole Miss versus Troy. Then Central Arkansas, the Bears.
They'll kill them.
Yep. Then Georgia Tech.
They'll kill them.
Then Tulsa.
They're going to be 4-0.
And then they play University of Kentucky.
They're 5-0. 5-0.
Then Vanderbilt at
They're
Vanderbilt.
6. Are you listening, though? 6-0.
6-0 going to play Auburn.
Wow, at Auburn
versus Auburn, so it's at
That's
home.
home.
It's gonna
That's
be
home. Good Lord, man. They got a chance to be 7-0.
Right.
Going into that LSU.
Going
game.
into the LSU game.
Yep.
There you go. Good point.
Wow.
Yeah, heading into that LSU game, they could.
If they
be
beat Auburn, they're going to beat LSU.
They could be in the top 10 undefeated at this point. Now, understand there's some cupcake games to start.
Yeah, but
right?
still.
Well, Troy's not necessarily
who
a
they got
cupcake
after
game.
that one?
Then it gets hard.
So Auburn, then LSU, then Texas A&M.
Oh,
I know,
here we go.
right?
Here we go.
No, the end of their season is brutal. Texas A&M, Alabama, Arkansas, Mississippi State.
Wow.
So yeah, they could go 7-0 and then lose the next 5.
Or you never
But it is
know,
Lane
man.
Kiffin. I mean,
never know.
if he builds up momentum with those other games, I mean, he's fun to watch.
Now, do we want to pull up Georgia's schedule one more time? Georgia's schedule one more time compared to LSU and Ole Miss.
Good to be in the East.
Unbelievable, man. Really though, Alabama better be ready when they play at Oxford. They've gone there before and gotten beaten. In his first year, Lane's first year, they had a great opportunity to win that football game. That was a tough game for Bama. They finally, Najee Harris finally broke a long run and pulled them away, but that was a heck of a football game.
Yeah. Get out your popcorn.
Real quick, jump on. We ain't got time. Dang, we want to look at Missouri today. Hey, thanks for coming in, man.
No, thank you for having me here. This has been great.
God, anytime, man. And your beloved Bulldogs. What's going to happen when they play Bama in the SEC championship game?
We're going to win.
So back-to-back national champs.
I love it.
I see.
All right, real quick. Who are your 4 teams in the playoffs?
Alabama, Georgia, USC, and we'll go to Ohio State.
Yeah.
I mean,
USC is
the boring lineup there, but I believe in it.
I'm kind of leaning towards USC. I got Clemson right now, but I've been thinking a lot about USC, the schedule they've got.
Yeah,
with those 13 all-star players coming in. Dr. Chad Mitchell, what's the best way to get it? You got 4 seconds.
850-785-4344. Southern Orthopedics.
We're done. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. Big Dave, the afternoon show. We'll be right back.
It's the 5-year flyaway from 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Now, you must love the Atlanta Braves, too.
I do. I've been glued to the radio station because they ain't playing it on TV, so.
Jessica, I hope you win it. I really do.
I'm glad y'all are doing it, giving us a chance to win. I can't believe I was caller number 5, but.
Yeah, I appreciate you listening.
Keep listening to win from